Hey, Michael. Good to
Hello.
see ya.
Good to see you.
Hey, we are early in 2026, but we're so excited about this Bible reading plan that we've been doing and our discipleship groups. So tell us how that's going.
Yeah, it's actually gone really, really well. So, replicate is what we kind of went with. So, discipleship groups in general for churches is not an abnormal thing. But once we decided to do it, we're like, okay, how do we want to approach this? Well, we decided to go with replicate. And so we went with that model. And they kind of said, all right, well, about 15 to 16% of your church is going to be on board in the beginning. Well, it's cool for us to
Sure.
say about 20-ish% of the church is on board for us right now, which
Wow.
is really cool.
Yeah.
So we beat the odds already.
Yeah.
So we have about 19 groups formed. Some of them are completely full, some of them are not. And
That's
well
awesome.
over 100 people that are in total in groups right now.
I love that.
Pretty
Wow,
cool.
that's really cool. So it's early on in the year, and so let's just say somebody watching this wants
Yeah.
to join a group.
Yeah.
Is it too late?
Not at all. So you can join kind of whenever, which is the cool part. Obviously, better in the beginning, but we realized, people, change jobs. There's different schedules coming out, so people are going to wait until they get that figured out before they join a group because we know it's one more thing on the calendar. In fact, I got off the phone this morning with a guy who's going to join a group that's met a couple of times.
That's
So if
awesome.
you're watching this, and you're like, hey, how can I join one? Well, in the future, obviously, every group right now is going to replicate. Hopefully, that's the goal. And then they'll pray about it and they'll disperse and they'll invite
Pull
their own
more
people.
people
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
But for now, since it's a brand new ministry for us here at Grable, if you want to join one, simply just contact me, contact Amy. If you know someone that's in a group, contact them. If you're in a community group with a bunch of people, ask your community group leader and they'll contact me. There's plenty of ways to get going with that. And then we'll chat and we'll try to find, hey, what's your schedule like? What are you looking for? And then I'll try to get you plugged into a group.
Yeah.
So super easy.
That's awesome. So I'm in a group on Wednesday nights with some ladies, and it's been amazing. We've had a lot of deep questions and things that women have been struggling with that have come up, even just
Yeah.
in starting to read the book of Luke already. But I'm just curious, have you heard, can you share a specific story of a small group, or
Yeah.
a discipleship
Yeah,
group?
yeah, for sure. I won't share names or anything like that, but there's one, it's simple, but it's powerful. Obviously, discipleship group, in its own form, it's just a very easy way to do a Bible study. That's kind of what it is with much more accountability and everything else. But you're getting together and you're discussing the word. That's what you're doing at its heart. And so there's one story that came out, and keep in mind, there's going to be plenty more. Most groups have met at least once, maybe twice at this point, since we're a few weeks into the year. So people haven't met a ton, but there's already one story that stuck out to me of a lady who has been in church quite a bit for a while. I can't remember if she grew up in church, but she's been in church for a while. And she said, man, I've never discussed the word like this before.
That's
Like
awesome.
I've read the Bible, I've went to church, but to dive into it as we're doing, I've never done that before. And this is really refreshing. So that was a simple story, but powerful
love that.
and why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, the goal is to get people in God's Word
Yep.
on a daily basis, and also join a discipleship group where they can ask questions and dive in with other people. But it is okay if now isn't the right season to be in a discipleship group and you're still following the reading plan
Oh my
and
gosh, yeah.
diving in,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if it's on your own. Correct?
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have the reading plan for everyone in the church to go through. And then hopefully at some point, once you kind of hear how things are going and maybe you're thinking about a discipleship group, but you're like, maybe not now. Yeah, still stick with the reading plan. Do
Yeah.
it on your own. We still have here journals that we would love to give you a resource of that maybe you can dive into that or just a journal in general. Because that's been pretty powerful. That's a good discipline that the church is getting used to. So, yeah, please keep diving into that. And then who knows, maybe 6 months from now or next year when groups start forming again, you can dive into one.
Yeah. And you mentioned here journals, HEAR.
Yep.
Can you tell us again what that
Sure.
stands for somebody who maybe is a little confused on what that
Yeah, yeah.
means?
So here is an acronym, and the H stands for highlights. You're just kind of highlighting, what you're. So let's say you read Luke chapter 6. You're kind of highlight some big things in Luke chapter 6 that stick out to you, and then the E part is explain. So you're kind of explaining to yourself, okay, what does this mean? What's happening here? What's the audience that the writer's writing to, right? And so you kind of explain it to yourself. and you got commentaries. We know that not everyone is a Bible scholar, so kind of, do your study on the side, but you kind of explain what's happening. And then the A is the apply. So how do you apply this to your life? What's happening in this passage that I can apply to my life right now? And then respond, Lord, what do you want me to do with this? So
That's awesome.
Super easy way to kind of write it out. That was actually Replicate who came up with that. That was not us. So we're not that smart to come up with that. But that was Replicate who said, okay, if we're going to journal for the first time, how can we make this super easy for you? And they came up with the HERE acronym.
I'm finding that journaling is just an extra step for me that I can go back and review it and, okay, 2 days ago, what did I read and what did God show me? And it's been a really powerful tool for me.
Yeah. And so my group that meets every Wednesday, our first time we met, it was our first time. We weren't sure how it was going to go. I'm sure everyone thought the same thing. And when we sat down, it was just really cool to see, oh man, you got that from Luke chapter 3. Like I got the same thing, but and you kind of bounced off ideas. And I'm sitting there myself and I'm like, this is why we journaled and wrote it down, because there's so much going on in the scriptures and we all have different ways of viewing it and reading it that, man, if you didn't write it down, I'd probably forget. Like, let's just kind of be honest, right? There's so much, especially in Luke. I mean, it's like 60 verses a chapter. So there's a lot going on in that book. So I found that has been really helpful.
That's awesome.